Okay, let's take a look at the Warriors' defense, and to me, they showed a clear lack of effort and focus, something that's a little disappointing for a Game 1, but we do have championship DNA and certainly ammo for the coaching staff to motivate the team and get them back in gear. Here, a high ball screen, which we're switching. No need for Draymond to be back there. He simply needs to be ball you man right about there, and he would be able to contest that shot. Same idea, side ball screen, we're switching it. No need for Draymond to be that far off. Ball you man, simply contest your guy. Ball gets reversed. I don't know if this was a scouting report thing. Perhaps it could have been, because Derek White has been struggling from three throughout the playoffs. But in any event, this needs to get fixed. Let's close out NBA players on the three-point line. Let's take a look at Otto Porter here, getting totally turned around, spinning like a top. Jaylen Brown wasn't even moving. To me, that's a clear lack of focus. Same kind of idea here. Jaylen Brown takes 6 steps. Somehow it's not a travel, but just like Porter, Curry losing his man and giving up an open shot. And then any coach will tell you this is a concerning sign. Start the third quarter here. Wiggins has a chance at it. Williams has a chance at it. Who goes and gets it? The shirt's in green. It's no surprise that the Celtics won the game. Okay, ball goes up. Looney's battling for the rebound. Now let's take a look at which team is playing harder, the team in the green jerseys or the team in the white jerseys. Very clear that Boston is running their lanes harder, winning the first 3 steps, and wanting the game more. Something that is concerning for the Warriors, if you notice Porter here not giving a lot of effort, but also has a noticeable limp, which gets him a little bit late into the play, certainly late into the rotation, and that fatigue from being injured is probably preventing him from communicating who is taking Al Horford and who is taking Jaylen Brown on this X out. So if you're out there, even if you're hurt, you need to give 100% if you want to win the championship. And then this clip is absolutely inexcusable. Otto Porter Jr. hits the 3. JTA is going crazy. The Warriors are feeling great, up by, 14. That does not mean you can go back on the other end and let an NBA player have a wide open shot after 2 passes. And to me, that's a sign of the Warriors letting their guard down, and I think that's when they started to lose their focus, when the Celtics went on a run. And so that needs to get cleaned up for Game 2. Okay, some more things to explore, just some more X and O's, some simple breakdowns, things that will get fixed naturally, game to game within a series. Okay, first, a little horn set. How are the Warriors handling it? Okay, they want to switch the first one. Wiggins is now on Smart. But who is on Al Horford? Clay and Looney do not communicate. That should be a simple fix moving forward. After timeout, the Celtics set a ball screen with a flare screen on the weak side. Whether the Warriors decide to zone it up, switch it, whatever, I expect them to make an adjustment and take away that play as well. Okay, here, it's not great to see Curry taking a nap here, playing with his mouth guard. He does take a bizarre angle guarding Derek White, but does make it back to his man. And then here on the double screen, it seems pretty simple for Wiggins to stay outside, Draymond to stay inside. That's not what happens here, but something that should get fixed moving forward. Now, a bigger thing for the Warriors is, are they showing on ball screens, dropping on ball screens, or switching? It seemed like the whole night there was a miscommunication or unclear game plan. You can see Curry and Wiggins having to talk it over. For whatever reason, it wasn't getting executed. So here, when Pritchard goes into the screen, Poole is basically being a traffic cone that far back, giving up an open 3 and an open drive, which Iguodala has to help on, giving up the corner 3. Here, if Curry, I would imagine the Warriors would decide they'd want to hedge out, show out on these to keep Tatum from turning the corner. The way they handled it here allows Tatum to get into the paint, draw 2 to the ball, and give an open 3. So I don't know if this was because the Warriors guarded Luka a different way. They were showing out the whole game, and they were trying to do something different for Game 1, and it took a while for the guys to adjust. or if they were just a little unclear on their game plan. Whatever it is, this is something that needs to be cleaned up because we can see the Celtics exploiting it time and time again. And the final thing to cover defensively is how exactly do we want to guard Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Okay, the Warriors very clearly want to keep Wiggins on Tatum, at least to start possessions. And the Celtics, for very obvious reasons, want to get Wiggins off of Tatum. So here we can see a series of screens. Looney gets switched onto Tatum. And the Warriors' plan for Game 1 was to send that help, essentially send two to the ball, keep Tatum out of the paint, away from the rim, away from the free throw line. And it didn't work in Game 1, and so it'll be interesting to see if the Warriors stick with this game plan or do, in fact, make some adjustments. If it was me and I was coaching the team, I think I would focus on plays like this, which there were a lot of in this game, of not helping a ball that doesn't need help. And so you can see here, Curry and Iguodala have the ball contained. Tatum's not a threat to score. To me, there's really no reason for Porter to come all the way over to this elbow. And what it does for the Celtics is it creates a closeout, dominoes start falling, and they move the ball to an open shot. So I would really emphasize not helping a ball that doesn't need help. The second thing I would do if I was a Warriors coach, I think I would trust my individual defenders a little bit more. To me, Draymond, Iguodala, Porter, even Clay at times looked pretty good against Brown and Tatum. I think I might trust their one-on-one ability a little bit more going forward and try to stay fanned out on these shooters. I believe the Celtics have hit over 23s. I think it was 3 or 4 times this playoffs already, so we need to respect that. And I think Brown and Tatum aren't quite as good of ball handlers as Luka was, and certainly not as fast as Ja Morant was, and might have a better chance of being contained by the Warriors' individual defenders than perhaps series in the past.